This episode is presented in partnership with Airbnb. Y'all ready to celebrate independence in style? Get yourself a guest favorite spot and make your summer memories in one of the most loved homes on Airbnb. Now, let's roll.
Love was the thing that woke them up.
Oh my
And that's
gosh,
what I wanted to say.
And I kept thinking to myself, y'all ain't had to break up to get there.
Keke, you have been holding it down. Such a young,
And you're so young
girl.
still.
Exactly.
You're actually a baby, okay? You're a baby. We've been interviewed by a
mogul
baby.
baby.
A mogul baby.
I was always really apprehensive, letting the guy pay dinner for me.
Yes.
You know, letting him take me somewhere.
I did that too,
Because I
Keke.
didn't want it to mean I had to do something.
Right. I did the same thing, but I also missed out on
getting my dinner paid for. Michael's here to talk with us too.
What?
Yeah,
What do you
Michael's
mean?
here. So surprise, guys.
It's a surprise, guys.
Surprise, guys. Michael Cooper Jr. is here to join the conversation with us. Hey, y'all. So if you haven't already heard about Netflix's new series, Forever, where have you been? Under a rock! This show has had me deep in my feels from the very first episode. We are talking first love, heartbreak, awkward sex, complicated family dynamics, a prom moment that goes all the way off, and yes, even a buzzer beater at a big game. But beyond the drama, Forever captures something we rarely see on screen, the emotional truth of being a teenager, and more specifically, being a Black teenager. It's honest, it's messy, it's funny, and it's got us talking, which is why I'm so excited for today's guest, the brilliant creator of Forever, Brock Akil, and our new favorite TV dad, Wood Harris. And later on, we're talking to the incredible Michael Cooper Jr., all about his breakout role. So let's get into it. Mara, Wood, welcome to the show. You guys, I am through the moon and so excited to get into this with you guys. You guys have gotten me through my last few days. I watched this show. I watched Forever within a blink of an eye, guys.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
watched 8 episodes down.
Girl, 8 episodes, immediately ate them up. And it was just, well, first of all, congratulations, you guys. #1 on Netflix, 96 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Thank you.
I mean, Regina King, she's an EP. She directed the pilot.
Yes.
There's so many good things around this. I mean, how do you guys feel? I don't want to say were you surprised because your work always is so well received.
Thank you. First
as
of all,
yours is as well, Wood.
thank you for having us. I thank you for just the love. I think that's what I think we poured love into it, and to get the love back, I always say thank you.
Of course.
I'm not surprised, but I am in awe. I thought that when I lock in, I could start to feel my co-creation with God, with Source.
Yes,
I
that's
understand it. So my job is to keep my eye on the prize, so to speak. And I thought if I landed the plane, I think we would be successful. I just didn't know what success would actually look like. And that's the awe part. And that is, I am over the moon with the reception.
I mean, guys, the show is so special in every way, from the performance, the storytelling, but also the cinematography. I remember watching this thinking to myself, like, if I'm blasted into another universe of love and basketball and I would need this world to look like matured in a modern era, like, it was so beautiful to watch. Shout out to Regina for directing the pilot. I mean, what was that process like with her?
Oh, I mean, you're working with Regina King.
Exactly.
I mean, for her to have what she's done on front of the camera for so many years, and her career as a director. You know, we first worked together on Being Mary Jane. She was early in her directing career. She directed an episode of Being Mary Jane that was toward the beginning of her directing. And
Wow,
always
that show
wanted
was
to come,
also gorgeous.
yeah, and wanted her to come back together. But I think those choices that you make of what goes on the screen, to have a collaborator with her, to talk about Wood Harris. But I'm going to give a shout out to our DP who set the look, Michael Cooper Fernandez.
Michael, amazing job.
No, amazing job.
Beautiful.
Yes, and Chris Manley was our additional DP. And these two men together held the look and the vision of what I wanted from the beginning and what we set up.
The music is awesome too, though. I think that it really is, you could talk about so many aspects of it. You could talk about individual characters or the look of it, or the music of it.
Yeah.
And, it holds a lot of, to me, the show holds a lot of expectational tension.
Yes.
Like it makes you feel like, okay, what's going on next for these people? Because we all can relate to the wonderment of love and, is she really like me? Is she tripping? Or is she with somebody? Is she kind of
And where is this going? And why is it starting in 2018? Because we're in 2025. I need to know where this is going.
Now you jumping ahead. Wait, relax, all right? Jeez. Now I got to act like Eric and bring balance to the conversation.
believe we all love Eric.
I know. Eric,
I mean, is he like the best
TV dad?
He's the best TV dad.
He supports the mama. He still holds it down for the son. He's bringing us into generational triumph.
He gets the kids to school on time. I even love the little moments of like, come on, come on, Jaden, we got to go. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And the little kiss to the wife, those little touches that were not, that they were written in the script, but they were about how to build the character of the family, but really the head of the household kind of vibes. You know what I'm saying? What does he look like? What is the peace in this house? And it was set the tone by Eric.
And what's funny thing enough, you and Mara have known each other before. Your son.
Okay, yeah.
You were his basketball coach when he was a kid?
Yeah. So probably, I mean, this was a while ago.
So your scene was about what? Your scene was about, our kids were about what, 6, 8
or 9?
8 or 9.
Now, what type of entertainment coaching?
I think your son's
so they're the same thing. Yeah, because they're the same age.
So they were like 8 or 9
and
at
they're
the
21
time,
now.
And they're 21. So this was 12, 13 years ago. And we coached them like at the Y. Okay?
Off of Crenshaw. It was, I'm telling you.
And yeah, so.
Were you guys the only people in the entertainment industry that were there? But I mean, it's LA. I guess it could be more people, but
it's for me, I know who Wood Harris is. So there's at this point where I'm just trying to get the kid to basketball game on time. And then you walk in there and you're like, oh, that's Wood's a coach? I mean, he was the assistant coach. Were you an assistant coach? Yeah, you're assistant coach.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what, but he was so different than the characters that we saw on television. And that was, at that point, I was like, I love all these colors on him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember thinking back then, people need to see this side of Wood Harris. I didn't have it in my mind that it was going to be Eric Edwards, but it clearly was seated at that time when he was just so loving and supportive to the kids. I mean, like, these kids played so well because of you were the best cheerleader to those kids. You were hyping them up, giving them good critique, but also believe it, making them believe.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you came in, we both were like, Chicago, love Chicago, Chi-town. I got to ask you, growing up there, because people always ask me this, and I always have this conversation with Chicago folks. Okay. What do you feel, how did it shape you, your discipline, your hustle, being from Chicago and being an entertainer and having this longevity?
Well, you might be like me in the sense where, I mean, I think I developed a colorful eye to tell stories with. So I think my neighborhood, which I grew up on the west side of Chicago, and very colorful.
Yeah, that's it. That's very colorful.
That's the best way to kind of put it.
Yeah, it's colorful.
That was real colorful.
And if you're not in the mix with the stuff, then you just get the colors.
Yeah.
And so, but then like I was telling Mara, like me and my brother were raised by a man, by my dad.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. Like
no mom.
I had my mom,
yeah,
but my father raised us though.
Yeah.
My mother was there, but my dad was just the head of the household.
That's right.
So she wasn't absent at all.
Yeah.
But he
had you on your hips.
He just raised us. He just was that type of man. His nickname was Man. And part of Eric is definitely like, and my father's deceased now. He's been deceased for a while. And I was talking to my brother a couple days ago about it. And it's so awesome to have sort of like that guardian angel in my opinion to like guide me over this wonderful like loving story. So
yeah,
I really look at it like that. I look at it like, wow, I get to be an awesome father. You see me as a drug dealer, okay?
Yeah.
You see me do some really many different things, not just that. But
yeah.
you've seen like
many things.
Many different things.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly enough, not just the simplest loving man. Over the decades, you not see me just be normal. This is normal to me. I don't know. People treat it like it's not normal. Eric is not normal in society, I guess, because when I look at the analytics...
Or not shown or not represented on television.
Not shown.
And not amplified globally, too.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing that I love was like, I love seeing this father right here like this because this reminds me of my father.
Thank you. No, that's what I want to say.
Yeah,
that's why...
He exists. He just is not on screen at all.
Yeah, it's like they don't exist on screen, and then people are thirsty for that. And I just wouldn't think it would be that way. You know? I'm sorry. I was telling Mara, I am a little surprised.
At other people's surprise.
Well, at what
Them
people
being like,
say,
wow.
like, this is if you go on TikTok, or my daughter was like, look at this. There's people on there her age, and she's 21. That dad is this and that. And I'm like, Wow.
Yeah, he's now the dad. He's the dad in the lexicon, and I think
that's amazing.
That's beautiful.
That's just amazing.
It's amazing, and it's what we need to see.
And it's intentional. Can I add to the Chicago conversation?
Of course, yes.
A little shout out to Northwestern. I was, Chicago adjacent in Evanston, but I always had my butt in the city. I did. I love Chicago, and what I love about Chicago, it is a work hard, play hard kind of city.
It is,
and that is whatever the season is. There are going to be some spades played. It's going to be some dominoes played. Everybody's going to gather for the sport of the month. We're going to gather. We're going to get together. And I think that community, that energy, that familial, whether it's literally family, but friend of family, just the idea that we are not going to get through this alone. We have to get through together. And I like to think that I brought that type of tone to setting the tone for that so that the village could show their best light. And I think that's why the show is getting so much attention, because everybody's love is in the show. We started every production meeting, every table read with, this is a love letter, this is a love story within a love letter to Los Angeles, and asked everyone to remember their first love, remember their first love to their career, first love to, their friends, to their romantic partner, to their parents. And can we put that in the show? And I think, so that's why I knew the love would come back, because I saw the love go in from everybody. And that's Chicago.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. But now that makes me think about, another teenage project that you worked on many years ago, Moesha.
Mo to that,
one of my all-time favorite shows. Girl, I got a journal today because of Brandy for all my life, because of the impact that show had on me.
That's amazing.
I mean, it's huge.
That was my first major show. I worked on South Central. I want to give a shout out.
Oh my gosh, shout out to South Central.
But that is how I met Ralph Farquhar.
Yes.
Who I'm always going to speak his name.
Yes.
Because he's my mentor. We don't do this alone. And I learned how to make television through him. And
I credit him to discovering me. Ralph
really?
Farquhar. I mean, really.
When I first tell that story. I don't know it.
Girl, when I first came to California, a friend of my mom introduced me to Ralph. At that time, Ralph had a deal at Disney. Yes. He did my pilot, Keke and Jamal. Created a pilot for me. Pitched it at Disney. I filmed my own pilot. And from there, I mean, we've always remained in touch. But that was the pinnacle moment for me. It was before Akil and the Bee and everything.
Well, see, it's interesting because Ralph Farquhar. So as his grasshopper, I think the spotting of talent and developing talent, or reimagining talent. So even for Wood, Wood's played this kind of, you've played a similar role over and over in different iterations and some expansion, but I think would you say this is the biggest departure?
This is the biggest departure.
And I think that
for sure.
I got that gift. It was encouraged, and I got to witness it through Ralph about how does the talent really serve the story, and how you can then find the human layers in it by what you as Keke brings, you would bring. Ralph Farquhar.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Shout out to him. I love that we got to give him that shout out because he's impacted me as well.
Yeah.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
Y'all, I am still thinking about this incredible girls trip I took a while back at this amazing Airbnb. When I tell you we lived our best lives, the spot had this gorgeous backyard jacuzzi, and our host was so sweet, walking us through how to get those jets just right. We had in-house massages all day, and the kind of peace and quiet you can only get when you have the whole place to yourself. That's exactly what I love about Airbnb. You can search through their guest favorites to find some highly rated, most loved homes that give you the space to truly celebrate your way. And this 4th of July, whether you're looking for a spot with a spacious deck made for family barbecues, a cozy living room for late night card games, or prime locations to catch these fireworks, these homes hit different. And child, having your own space means celebrating without worrying about hotel neighbors. So, this Independence Day, declare your freedom from ordinary vacations. Book an Airbnb and create memories that will have you feeling patriotic all year long. Trust me, it's the kind of celebrating that'll have you saying, God bless America and Airbnb. This episode is brought to you by Saks. Hold up, let me put you on to something major. Your summer just got a whole lot more luxurious because Saks Fifth Avenue is now on Amazon. Whether you're hunting for that perfect Giambattista Valley dress for your bestie's botanical backyard brunch, or that stunning etro caftan for your Amalfi Coast getaway, Saks on Amazon has got all your summer moments covered. I'm literally obsessed with this new Balmain beach tote that I've been eyeing for my next summer vacay. And it's not just the vacation fits. We're talking effortless luxury for every moment with Stella McCartney's new sustainable sundresses, some must-have D&G sunglasses, and all the designer handbags and beauty products you need to serve all season long. From brunch to boardwalk, rooftop parties to resort pools, Saks has curated the perfect edit for every summer scenario. Have you seen their weekend wear collection? With these pieces, you'll be giving certified head-turner status on every boulevard. And don't even get me started on their accessories. Your girl is adding those new Balmain sandals to cart expeditiously. The cherry on top, it's the luxury shopping experience you love from Saks. With that easy Amazon delivery we all live for. Get the Saks designer brands you love delivered just like that. New on Amazon. But what I see in your work also is a lot of you in it. I mean, even when talking about Moesha, I know Lena Waithe said on the Legacy podcast,
I love her.
You know, that one of the plot lines was yours, that you actually brought your journal to.
I brought the Hello Kitty diary into the room, okay? So shout out to people in their diaries. They can turn your lemons into lemonade, okay? Because that's all Moesha was. I was just pitching my heart out from my own life. And really, I started, going back to Northwestern, I was a journalism major. And I feel like really that journey through journalism really set a foundation for who I am as a writer in this business. And I tell the truth through fiction. So I am going to be my first muse. My oldest son was the muse, the one that would coached. He was the window into this world to me for forever. And then, of course, his friends that are always in my kitchen. And then you go beyond them and you start to see all these other young people in this generation. But I will, if you in my purview, I am watching. And so I will, but I want to watch human behavior. Sociology is one of my favorite courses. And I wish I had taken more anthropology, but studying people and their study and the behavior is what you're seeing also is the relatability in the show. And I will muse off of my own life quite a bit.
Oh my gosh.
Even the things that I want to correct about myself.
Yeah.
I think these shows are mirrors. So how we respond to it are mirrors. And so sometimes I just want to clean up my own image sometimes. And I don't mind sort of being honest about the things. You know, Dawn is a
Karen's role.
Karen Pittman, who also
I need you to know she's I'm a new mom. My son is only 2 years old, but watching this show, I went back and forth from being Keisha to being Justin to being the parents.
I love it.
And I'm like, man, Eric and Don, they're such great characters because a lot of times when we get a show centered around young people's love, we don't really get much dynamic from the relationship with the parents. But I saw the parents' world just as real as I saw the kids'
But they're the
world.
most informative.
Oh my God, me and my mom and my dad, we're watching the show at the same time.
Yes.
That's how great it was,
awesome.
how it was balanced between both of those perspectives.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. If you're a young person, who's the most influential on your life? Good, bad, or the other, it's going to be your parents. And so they had to be formidable. They had to be dynamic in order for those young people to be, even Zosha's character. Those parents had to be the challenge to these. They're a part of the obstacle in this love story as well. But they're also the reason why these kids know what love is. Because they're both loved in their respective environments, in their respective households, even if it's flawed here and there.
It's so crazy.
But it's all out of love.
It's so crazy when you say that because even when you look at Justin's character and Keisha's character, Keisha sees so much of it being a struggle because she's watched her mom struggle.
Right. And
then you have Justin who's kind of like, let's just do the damn thing. You know what I mean? He feels that love is the center because that's what he's seen at home. I didn't even think about that till just now when you're saying that.
And that was intentional.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you for seeing that, Keke.
Girl, it's so
spread it out to the world.
It's so freaking good. Before I go totally in the show, I also want to mention, we're talking about all the, iconic things you've done, Wood. I got to stop for a minute, talk about The Wire. It's been 20 years since that show. Did you think it would hold up like it did? And also Above the Rim. You worked with one of my favorites, Tupac Shakur. I got to hear a little story or something.
Well, I didn't think The Wire would hold up. I just didn't know,
Yeah.
I really don't sort of have a lot of expectations you learn, in the business. After you finish, you just let it go, in a sense, and you wonder about it. So I didn't really have no... But for it to become what it has become, it's just... I mean, it's just awesome, man.
I mean, and then
surreal.
seeing Michael, our boy Michael B.
I know.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
it's like everybody has... The longevity, I think, of the people from that show also gives me so much joy.
Yeah, Idris, Mike, myself, God rest in peace, Michael K.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace. That was horribly tragic.
Hassan Johnson, Wendell Pierce.
Wendell, yes.
All of those guys are just phenomenal.
Seriously.
It's an alumni. I'm glad. I got more alumni than anybody. I went to 5 schools. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the Wire alumni now. I'm forever, and I mean this is a joyous ride. Let me say one thing about Mara too and her ability to cast, right? Because I said it to her before, but Justin, the casting of him is just amazing. Because you can cast Wood and go, okay, I seen him do something, and Karen, okay, cool, and Lovey.
I loved her in Greenleaf.
For him to be a newcomer with no real background, and Hollywood will just be like, has he done 5 things yet? Okay, cool, cast him. He ain't done nothing. Okay. He did like a short, I think.
No, I want to shout out Sanaa. Sanaa did a feature.
Sanaa did.
I did see that on
Sanaa found him. Yes, and so we had that conversation. And that's Village too. To be able to call Sanaa and be like, tell me about this young man.
Everything about him.
Yes.
Was perfect. Honestly.
He's destined.
Everything. I'm like, this kid we don't know him yet.
But you feel like you do.
But you know what's great about the creative process is when so I have this idea and you kind of pull it out of the sky. And once you sit in the seat and start molding it, what you are seeking is seeking you. And so I feel like as I was writing it, even your availability, even the synchronicity of availability. I mean, you might be right, but you may not be available, right? Those things. But I felt like that it felt like a calling. And so Michael specifically, because he was a later Kim Coleman. Shout out to Kim Coleman, our casting director.
Gosh,
I mean, come
iconic.
on.
She's been casting since I was a kid.
Okay, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And that's again who you collaborate with. And I'm like, okay, Kim, keep going. What else is out there? Who else is out there? And I think Michael came in the later sort of tranche of actors before we need to bring people in, right? And he came. I was like, who is this? And then you go right to the resume. You're like, oop, bloop, bloop. And the only thing was on it was Sanaa. Sanaa had cast him, and I love the ability to even the synchronicity of that. The one thing is someone I can pick up the phone and have a real conversation with.
That's a perfect storm.
And that's a perfect storm of things. But
alignment.
But television is a different beast than making a movie. Yeah. And the pace that it goes and the rigor that it goes is a different type of beast. And I was just so thankful that he was ready. What we were seeking him, he sought us. His spirit came. But anyway, we locked it in. He also got the privilege of landing in this role with all of these veterans. Just like, I mean,
there's
come on.
literally nothing better.
Literally, like Wood and Karen became his
acting parents.
And then you as well.
Yes.
You know, like,
auntie,
it's the perfect
What am I, the grandma,
support.
the auntie? What am I?
You're the hot auntie. Let me just tell you
auntie,
today.
Okay.
Yes. Now, there's something else I want to talk to you about because as I've gotten older, it's become something that I've appreciated so much about your work as a Black woman. Watching Girlfriends, I told you it's my show my go-to show. I go to sleep watching Girlfriends. Wow. You've said in The Telegraph that, your characters are layered and that the strong Black woman is a lie you've been exploring through all of your work. And I know what I feel that you mean by this. I don't want to put words in your mouth. So I want to just ask you, what did you mean by this?
Well, even like this idea of who we've had to be in order to survive America. Girl, and we have bought into that idea as our identity, as our personality, as how we are. We don't even understand that some of the things that we are buying into is not human. And so I wanted to crack that open. I wanted to show us who we are and also sort of give some space for our vulnerability and our ability to exit left and to get off that ramp if we so choose.
Girl, because not only does it take down the what we believe being strong means, but what we believe what being weak is.
Yes.
I feel like your work does such a great job of like, it's okay to love, girl. You know what I mean? It's okay that it doesn't look perfect.
Yes.
It's okay that we don't have to play these roles of what a man is and what a woman is. We just gotta be together.
And it's okay if it doesn't last, but keep at it. We deserve love. It's okay that one didn't work.
Come on, Joan. That's Joan coming through.
Okay.
That's Joan.
I would like to get her there. I would like to get her there. I'd like to get her there. But it's okay that it doesn't work out. The fact that you want to go swing your bat at something miraculous, to know that somebody in the world is thinking about you as much as you're thinking about them, supporting you as much as they want to support you, and say you take a swing at it I think there was like this whole thing like, oh, people get married too much. I see it like my kid plays, my youngest baby plays baseball, which is why baseball was all in the show as well.
Yes.
But are we swinging our bat?
Yes.
Can we? It's okay. And sometimes we're going to strike out, but get back up there and swing again at all the love in our life.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that, we also don't have to be also one thing. This idea that you can't change your mind. Absolutely change your mind. You're going to grow. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to think about something else. Being loyal to who? Are you being loyal to yourself and your own heart's desire? Do you even know what that desire is? That's what I've been writing about.
And I see it, I'm telling you, it resonates with me more and more and more as I get older and I go through my own life, because you go through these changes and these realizations, and it's so important to have these things to look at.
Yes.
Art is important to our lives. It tells us and it reflects us back at us.
Yes.
And I see so much of that. I watch Love Is. I see it all through your work. And
Thank you.
I just have to tell you.
Thank you for watching.
Woman, no, seriously, it really means a lot, Mara. It does. I know I mentioned earlier, Wood, that you're giving us cool dad vibes in Forever. Feels different from different characters. So when Mara brought it to you, were you kind of like, yeah, now I'm ready for this? Or had you never even received the opportunity to play a role like this?
I mean, to me, it just diversifies things, So for me, I try to have whatever diversifies my career. So no, I hadn't done anything like this. And also it's Mara, Regina, Anthony from The Wire is a producer.
Anthony Hemingway.
Shiny boots.
I mean, he
incredible.
No, really, backbone.
He directed as well.
He did 4 episodes of. Wow. I mean, he put a lot.
So the people, everybody. It's a book. Yeah. It's a book. The book means that there's a following. Judy Blume.
Judy Blume.
We've got to talk about this book because I'll be honest, I was not aware of the book before this.
Were you a Judy Blume reader at all?
No.
And that's okay. But I was, and I read so much of her work. And I actually think I often say this, that you become a writer first as a reader. And I devoured her books. It was something about the way that she was so honest. Truth. I think even go back to The Wire. People respond to the truth. And Forever, for me, I read it in middle school, which people think is too young. But I wasn't ready to have sex. But I wanted a heads up about what my future could look like. I wanted a boyfriend, and I heard boyfriends wanted to have sex. And so, and maybe I did too.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand, and
we have to talk about it.
We have to be honest, and kids are curious. And she met that curiosity in her writings and being so honest. And I thought the show had to reflect that as well, that we give the kids the truth. And I actually think most young people make really great decisions if you give them the truth.
Yeah.
And are they going to get it from you? Are they going to get it from out in them streets? And maybe there's something out there, but let them know. But imagine them getting the truth from where they're safest and where they're most loved, and that you're open enough to talk about. Like I love the way they did the cucumber scene.
Oh yeah.
It was so funny to me, but sometimes you just need to see how to do it.
Yes.
You say, like, as a parent, how do you have that conversation, or how do you do that, or this, or like Erica's always like, be yourself. All these sort of what is the conversation between parent and child? But I feel like she was having that conversation in the book between what she laid out for us and the reader. And what she mostly was protecting in the book, like the show, is the children's future. Like, we want them to have a future. And in the road to that, have a rite of passage that allows them to experience their first choice of love outside the familial love. And can they be safe in their exploration of their sex life, should they choose to have it or not? And so we want our children happy, safe, and a future. And that's it.
Oh, I mean, because
that's universal.
It is. Because I didn't read the book, I was curious of what elements you updated, or even when, we're thinking about, spoiler alert, we're thinking about Keisha's character. What was the meaning of the vehicle of the sex tape? The choice to do that. To me, it was so brilliant. And it just kind of like, and especially when I found out it was old. So I'm like, she really updated that concept for now. So why that?
So the book was 50 years ago. And so I had to look at what young people, what are the challenges for young people today? But the key thing I made in the book, the three biggest changes I made that made this show sort of uniquely its own within the essence of Forever, is changing the race of the families.
Yeah.
That's going to be a different way the parents raise their children versus the white parents in the book. But I also chose to make Justin the Catherine character and Keisha the Michael character. So Catherine in the book is the protagonist. And at that time, she was considered, you say she's the most vulnerable, the most innocent, going out into the world, thinking about, her love life and her emotional self and her physical self. And I posit today, and even probably back then too, I think Black boys are the most vulnerable. Because sometimes before you can even talk about their emotional self, before they even know somebody even crushing on them, you have to prepare them. Now you're 6 foot tall, you got some muscles, you have a certain anatomy that is fearful.
Your innocence is lost also in
completely.
In a way.
You become enemy number one before you can even be seen as a full human being that has feelings of love. So you have to sometimes talk to your sons about rape before you can talk to them about love. And that is insane.
That is insane.
But it's true.
Yes.
It's to protect them, for them to have a future. Sometimes you have to do that. So when Judy and I started to have that conversation, she was like, oh yeah, that to me is really, really challenging. And so when we made Justin Catherine, which was the most innocent in the book, and let Justin be that, Keisha, Michael in the book, had some sexual experience.
Yeah.
So wanted to introduce Keisha's character with this idea and also play on the stereotypes of Black women and how we're perceived and all, just play with the stereotypes.
Girl, you got me jump out of my seat. Because that's what I love so much about Keisha, was that it seemed as if she was so sexually knowing it all just because this one moment happened, when she was just trying to express herself and be a human experiencing. And then you realize, no, I'm a virgin too.
Yes.
I may have done some stuff, trying to see some stuff, but like I'm not some freaknik. Like I don't know
That's
everything.
That's really well done too.
Yeah, I really love
because
that.
males will not. They will cast the future on who that person is. They will make that person something. To me, that was one of the best points because it showed so much reality, and also making the Justin character that character, because
the innocent
you never
one.
see
young
boys who we always cool.
Yes, and I'm tired of it.
We're so cool.
And you know everything.
And not only we cool, come on, I'm about to go get you something. To what you need.
Yeah.
I got everything.
I was tired of that.
This dude, everyone is. And that's why the show is successful. There's been the repetition of all the Black guys are dangerous, cool, sort of like
got all
guys
the ladies.
They know how to get it. Whatever it is, they know how to get it.
Yeah.
Justin don't know how to get it.
No. And
he's trying to figure it out, though.
Guys,
Justin can't even get out the house.
It meant so much to me because I also know Justin. Like, Justin is my brother.
There's so many Justins.
Saying? Like, I know, like, he watched the anime and he likes ramen and sushi and he just wants to hang out and he likes you and
that's exactly
hey, I'm cool.
their generation.
You cool? Come hang out with me in my house. I mean, you want to go swim in my pool?
Yeah.
It's not always what we saw in the past that was just so, like you said, cool, and I know how to get it.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
Tell me why Tropical Smoothie Cafe has your girl feeling more blessed than Sierra's prayer. With only the freshest smoothies, bowls, and made-to-order wraps. Tropical Smoothie Cafe is serving exactly what you need to turn your everyday into a mini vacation. Now, they did not come to play, y'all. The naturally sweetened detox island green smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe, ooh, it has spinach, kale, mango, pineapple, banana, and fresh ginger. You name it. That Caribbean jerk chicken wrap with the kale and apple slaw upgrade. Ooh, yes, honey. Eating your fruits and veggies has never been this fun. It's serving exactly what I serve at every Met Gala. Pure excellence. So go on, order ahead, take the scenic route, and earn rewards with the Tropical Smoothie Cafe app. Download it today or visit tropicalsmoothiecafe.com to find a cafe near you. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Baby, I have never, and I mean never, been more devastated than when I found out that some of y'all been sneaking around behind Domino's back just to get your stuffed crust fix. Now, you know us Virgos are incredibly loyal, steadfast even. Cheating, especially on something as serious as Parmesan stuffed crust pizza, ain't gonna fly in this house. I saw y'all slide into those other pizza spots drive-thrus, ordering that cheese-filled crust like Domino's, and I wouldn't find out about your little rendezvous. But sweetie, the healing starts today because Domino's just dropped their own stuffed crust, and now y'all got no excuse to keep stepping out on them like this. It's time to put those pizza-cheating ways to rest. Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust is serving pure decadence with that buttery, handmade dough wrapped around a cascading stream of 100% melty goodness. These are the cheese pools of your dreams. It's very much a Goofy movie level of ooey gooey cheesy deliciousness. And of course, your girl can't forget about that signature garlic seasoning and Parmesan sprinkle dance on top of that perfectly baked crust, making every single taste like it was blessed by the pizza gods themselves. You can think about it now. I'm already imagining the parm stuffed pie I've been plotting on. Next time I'm placing my order, you best believe I'm having mushrooms, grilled onions, and some extra peppers just to, keep the vegetables on top. Now, this is the kind of commitment I'm talking about. No more pizza cheating needed when Domino's is bringing this level of excellence to the table. Order Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza on the Domino's app and use code Keke to get any 3-topping Parmesan stuffed crust pizza for $11.99. Price is higher for some locations. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. Delivery orders subject to local stores' delivery charge. Holla at your girl. Michael's here to talk with us, too.
What?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Here. So, surprise, guys.
It's a surprise, guys.
Surprise, guys. Michael Cooper Jr. is here to join the conversation with us.
He's on
We have
here?
him on the video. Yeah,
No way.
Yeah, to get in the conversation with us. There he is.
You ain't funny, man.
Man, we were just getting into the heatedness, Michael, of Justin and how we needed to see this character on screen. I have to tell you, I already told you with Golden Sunshine, who did makeup for your show. She's doing makeup on my show right now.
No way. I love Golden.
She connected me to say, hey to Michael because she know I love the show. But I want to tell you congratulations. You did such a fabulous job.
Look at him.
Thanks,
Look
I
at
appreciate
him.
it. I love this dude, man.
I mean, he did incredible
You don't
on
love
the
him.
show. And us getting into talking about this character, we were kind of just talking about how we finally get an opportunity to see a lot of the young Black boys that we know in our lives, where it's showing that other side of the vulnerability, the emotions, how they feel truly without just always having to be tough and cool. But I'm curious for you as a young Black man, were there apprehensions or concerns you had coming in, playing a character that has moments where he's in the bed and he seems depressed about this love that guys could consider weak?
Oh, absolutely. I think even initially reading the script, I got in my head and I was like, my guys are going to make fun of me for this. 'Cause Justin's I mean, he's such an emotional guy and he's so open and so vulnerable.
Yeah.
But there was something very specific about Mara's writing. Because, as actors, you always got to take it back to the writing. And there was one thing that really resonated with me. He had one foot in confidence and the other foot in insecurity. And something so palpable that I think that we can all relate to.
That's right.
And it was easy for me to connect. And then I just started to think about conversations, that I had with my friends about, their ex-girlfriends or when they broke up with, and I would be on the phone with my guys and they'd be in shambles. You know what I mean? And so it was important for me to kind of take this and express it the best way I could.
Oh my gosh, I think you did a wonderful job. And it's funny to hear that about your friends because I had a couple of guys I would talk about to Forever about, and they'd be like, I can't believe, Justin. I said, that's you. While you talking about Justin, you look just like that. So stop playing. It's important for us to see ourselves. I mean, Eric, Wood, the father character, he's protective, but he's also so present. What did you want to reflect, in working with Michael about Black fathers who are raising whole and emotionally aware children? Sons specifically.
That's a great question. I think overall, what we're doing with this show and with this culture that we all belong to right here, this motley crew of 4 at least, we all belong to this Black culture. And
yes.
I think Forever sort of like resets the dial a little bit about our story. It's that deep. And the reason why, in my opinion, is because of it's because of Mara. I mean,
That's right.
her head's going. I don't know if her head gonna be able to fit in this building by the time we leave. But I just got. We got to
my
keep.
hair is cute. Shout out to
See,
Keith.
look at the hair.
Yes.
But no, seriously though, it's taking our story while the story is being taken away. So, meaning this, as time is now, this present time, and the story is not about race. How ironic it is not a racial story. You don't even think about race watching it. No one's going to think race necessarily. It's a love story. And that is what is needed to recalibrate, I feel like, our narrative. Because at the moment, we have a narrative that's a little, it's somewhat ratchet, you know, and I hate to say that, but the almighty Black culture is associated with that too much, in my opinion. You know, this obliterates that. This resets the conversation so that we can be contributors. You know, every culture has
be the narrators of our story.
Yes,
I mean,
as they change, it's not even going to be in school. You won't even find out about us in schools.
And I think it's important that you say that, because this goes all the way back to, again, when, you know, it is on the back of I don't want to say on the back, but it is spearheaded by people like you, Mara, because, I mean, you were the first Black woman showrunner when you did, you know, Girlfriends. And when you've done the things you've done, you have been in the lead, in the seat that it's taken years for people to get to be able to tell the stories from an honest place. And so I think,
I want to say that I'm not the first Black showrunner. I'm one of the first. I guess I'm one of the few back in the day. And I think because of that, I came from people, like I said, who were holding it down. Sarah Finney Johnson was there. Winnie Hervey were there. I mean, they were there. We were there. But what I'm thankful for, and I understood the moment to land this story on Netflix at this time. It's funny, the playoffs are on. It feels like the playoffs. It feels like you're in the championship game. And I agree with you. And I didn't add the words that you used. It does feel like a reset, because it's like, hey, this is what we're about. This is what it really is. And now I want to speak to craftsmanship, the investment in ourselves, and needing society. Sometimes it starts with our parents to invest in people, to invest in the talent. Yeah. We need to invest in ourselves so that we can tell our story beautifully. And that we understand how to craft that narrative. Yes. How do we execute it on that level? I'm really an advocate right now, more and more, about the need for great writing. Great writing will bring out great acting. Yes. And then all of the other departments. We have a beautiful art form. It takes a village to make these shows. And in doing so, we're all storytellers in it. And all of those layers are the beautiful patina that makes it feel so resonant and allows us to reset the tone, and that people can see themselves. Because now that it's also out there, the audience is now telling us it's their show. And they're going to tell you what it means to them. They're going to dissect it.
Amazing.
And they're going to analyze it. And more importantly, they're going to see themselves. And to your point, they were instrumental in showing up. So I want to thank them for showing up. And we need more people to show up, because I think the story of Blackness, which is, we've heard this term before, they like our culture, but they don't like us, that our culture has been used to benefit other people. And I want our culture to benefit ourselves. And so I want our story to go as wide as it can, because through the lens of Blackness, I think there's a lot of healing for everybody, because we know what suffering is. And yet in that suffering, we know joy. We know joy. I think there was it's interesting, another conversation that's been happening around the show is that people were expecting so much trauma to happen. Yeah. And it was crafted to be like, yes, we are swimming in a world that we know where the potholes are, but what we are thinking and endeavoring to do every day is for that joy.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right. And just to piggyback on what both of you are saying, when it comes to our culture and our stories being told, Black isn't a monolith. Everybody's story is valid, but we just have had an over-index of the other stuff.
Yes.
I agree.
That's really the thing. And so when we need more balance. I do want to see more nuance. I want to see different types of us. And that's the thing.
And in every genre.
In every genre.
Yes.
We could be horror. It's drama. It's love. You know what I mean?
But your body of work too, Keke. Come on.
Thank you so much.
I think we're sitting here. Keke, you have been holding it down. Such a young,
and you're so young
girl.
still.
Exactly.
You're actually a baby. Okay, you're a baby. We've been interviewed by a
mogul
baby.
baby.
A mogul baby. Go get the water.
But you're testament to your own craft. You want it's your name on there, and you want to be great. Michael wants to be great. Wood is like we're all wanting to be great.
That's
and
right.
And that takes that craftsmanship and investment in ourselves.
But Mara, again, I gotta say this.
Okay.
The grandness of your vision and everything, putting together your teams to make this happen. It is a synergy of it all. Yeah, 12 years ago, me being a coach could do that. And everything had to happen. That's why I say it's a perfect storm for this to land as it has. But again, it's so important that this is normalized, that, wonderful Mike, who is not not that cool kind of like rapper, King Von present
Come on,
energy.
King Von, rest in peace.
Rest in RP, Chi-Town, I get it. But you know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
This is not that. This is what we need to see more of because we've seen an abundance, like you said, an over-index of the other stuff, all the cool people.
I think we need to see it because it's true.
It is.
It's more Black boys are more like
this
Justin
than the other way.
Yes.
I mean, what parts of yourself, like, because this happens to me, as an actor, when you're talking with Mara, you put yourself in your work, or you see yourself in your work, or you heal yourself through your work. In playing Justin, what did you discover about yourself, maybe at that age or even now? I mean, have you been in love? What's T-Boo?
The audience is listening.
I have been in love. I have been in love, but I think playing Justin, because it's funny, I would even talk to Mara and Anthony on set and be like, does he really have to cry? Like this scene, does he have to cry? And Mara be like, yeah, he needs to cry a little bit. And so like, it kind of healed me in a sense of like being able to be vulnerable, and it healed me from past relationships that I got to pull from and use, and so, but I think again, like, because Mara knows her story so well and it's so specific, I think anybody who's watching the show can connect with, whether you're a Keisha or a Justin or you're a little bit of everybody. She has like this magic touch with creating these fully dimensional characters that I find myself, because even reading the script, I was like, oh, I'm more like Keisha. Like I knew my objective. I was like, I want to be an actor. And Keisha knows she wants to go to Howard. She knows where she wants to go. And it took me back a little bit because I think I even had a bit of prejudice reading Justin, because I was like, he's a little lost. Like he's really lost. But he was lost in a way that was kind of that I had seen in a reflection of my friends, that I think I was a bit harsh in a season when they would express to me, things that they were going through or trials, and it gave me new perspective. And I think that's great art when, it shifts perspective. And Mara does it in this way that, when you're actually shooting and filming, you're so focused on the work. But then when you watch the piece come together, you're like, yo.
She did such a great job in terms of telling us the why. Because my question was going to be, were there any moments where Justin and Keisha chose their relationship over their family that made you want to scream at them? But ultimately what I want to get to is, it was the moment where he didn't want to go to Northwestern and he wasn't sure what he wanted to do. And I thought it was just about Keisha, but through that love, we found ourselves at the real crux where he said, I can't be at another PWI where I can't be me.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Absolutely.
yeah, like it's more than that. So when Keisha's dad says like that boy is lost, he's using you as his crush. I'm like, well, where is this going? I'm like, wow, he's using that as the distraction as he holds on to what he really wants to say, which is that I've had a hard time trying to measure up in the world that systemically has already so much against me. I already feel like I'm behind the 8 ball and there's no blueprint. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I can't do this again. And that really resonated with me, because boy or girl, but especially in this particular like time, and when I'm looking at the Black men that I know that can't figure out how to live in the system of the structure, and they just don't know how to feel valid in that. It's like, how do I make myself?
You watched the show, Keke. You watched the show, Keke.
No,
it really touched me.
I really love this.
I really loved
when
it,
I was on FaceTime with Keke, she was in her trailer watching. Were you on episode 3?
Yes,
Oh,
I was. I was so mad because they were knocking on my door. They were like, "Hey," and I was like, "What the hell they want?" I'm watching the show, and it was Michael, and I'm like, "Hey." But seriously,
I wanted to, it's interesting. We had a lot of conversations, Netflix and I, because sometimes when you tell these stories, oftentimes like, what does the character want? And I'm like, it's okay that the main character cannot know. Most television and movies, most times you know what the character wants, and then are they going to get it or not? That's really the plot. But I think the majority, there's a lot of people who are really great people that deserve the main stage to be the main character, as the kids say, and not be, what do they call it, the non-person?
NPC. Non-playable character.
Yeah. Most times they're the non-playable character. And why not shine a light on people who haven't, their humanity is needed, and love was the thing that woke them up.
Oh my
And that's
gosh,
what I wanted to say.
And I kept thinking to myself, y'all ain't had to break up to get there.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes I'm like, God damn, get back together. It's only 2018. We got more years for this story. I gotta let you go, Michael, and I gotta let you guys go soon. But I just want to let you know, I really, really loved your performance. You were just remarkable, and I can't wait for season 2 where you and Keisha get married.
Hey, Mike.
See you.
Mike, you look like you gained a couple pounds, yeah?
He in the gym.
I am. I told you I'm up for that wrestling part, so I've been in the
so
gym.
you put on some weight?
I had to.
Well, he's going to have to lose it.
Man,
Vegan. I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Michael.
Right,
oh, my
bye-bye.
gosh. Guys, I could keep talking to you more and more and more and more. I know I got to get ready to go. And I'm going to talk to Karen as well soon. So I'm very excited. Obviously plays Dawn. So I'm excited to get into even more that I didn't get to touch on today with you guys. But as you can see, I absolutely love this show.
Thank you.
It is so amazing. It brought me back to so many things. It healed me in so many ways in my perspective and reframing what my ideas on love have been. And I cannot wait to see this next season and what more it's going to teach me. Now, before I go, I have to play a game with you guys. I play a game with all my guests. Okay, and this one is really fun. We love an on-theme game. This one's about forever, and it's called Forever or Never.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you guys...
We're running.
I'll be back.
I gotta use the bathroom. Okay.
So I'm going to give you guys a couple of situations, and I'm going to give you guys a paddle. One side says forever, one side says never. If you think it's still forever, then you're going to hold up forever. And if you think it's never, then you're going to hold up never. Sounds good?
Oh,
Kinda.
Kind of.
Yes.
Now let's play.
Forever is we're staying together. Never is we breaking up.
Okay.
Okay. Keisha texts back K after a whole paragraph from Justin. Forever or never? I'm saying forever.
Yes.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It's not always, just a K. She had to process.
K was a lot. Sometimes just to even text anything back is commitment.
Yes. I loved also how you guys did the texting in the show, which is very hard right now, right? Because everybody does it. And it's how do we make ours right? But seeing the ... the pause, the writing, and then I'm taking it away.
I want to give Regina a big shout out for that. She really worked. She's like, how are we going to make this, being setting the tone. She really dug into that and flipped it over, looked at it. We talked about it a lot, and that was and then a collective effort of getting it there.
Done so well. Because it's hard to look at that.
Yeah.
But y'all made it right. Okay, now I'm going to a throwback. Moesha and Q get engaged.
Oh gosh, you went back.
But he needs to sell the ring. Forever or never. Dang! I was going to say forever. Maybe he needed the cash.
I think
it's hard in this economy. Damn, y'all.
I'm low-key cheating. I can see what she's gonna do. I said, I'm sitting next to Mara in class, so...
I think it's okay to understand what the commitment of marriage is and go on and, I don't know, figure those things out. And it's okay to figure those things out so that you are building this relationship from a very as solid a foundation as one can have.
Well, I'm taking your advice because you're the married one. So I need to be better.
Okay.
Your teenage son and his girlfriend want to go on a solo couples trip. Forever or never.
Wait. Oh, teenage solo trip? No, never.
Yeah, that's never. Are we nuts?
Oh, no.
Who the hell is doing that? That's not happening.
Next.
I did love on the show when they went to Martha's Vineyard and that little fast-tailed girl trying to get with Justin. I liked her character, though, but I was like, no, what you doing? She told me something, we should just have sex. But stay away from Keisha's man.
But you know, it wasn't that what I love is that was a marker of the times. That young women are saying, hey, listen, she was sex positive.
That's right.
She was communicative. It was consensual. It was a conversation.
No shame is what I enjoyed.
No shame.
Yeah.
And she chose a good partner.
I mean, he was impeccable. If it was going to be anybody, it needed to be Justin. That's a nice young man.
Yes,
I love that fictional young man.
Shannon's smart.
Yes, she was.
And Mara directed that. I don't know if that's been spoken.
I did episode 5.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, such a good episode. And I love.
We went to Martha's Vineyard, and it was definitely
gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. Off season though.
It was cold.
It was cold.
Uh-oh.
We worked hard.
We make hard to make it look hot in the summertime.
I absolutely loved the fact that she tried hard. You know, again, I think it's one of those other things with young women that it's this fear of like going for what you want or saying, hey, I want you back or I want this. And I love seeing Lovey's character, Keisha, do that in that episode. Because it's just like, she want her man back.
She want her man back.
Period.
She made a big mistake.
She made a big mistake. I was so tired of that boy. Oh my gosh, I love when Zosha, obviously, who played Keisha's mom, when she was like, you think I want you to be miserable?
Isn't she awesome? Shout out Zosha.
I love
She's
Zosha
awesome.
Rockmore. She's awesome.
She killed it. Killed it.
Okay, just a couple more. Your high school boyfriend dumps you at prom, but texts you to get back together the next day. It was, that was tough.
Yes.
That was tough to watch.
Yes.
That was tough to watch.
But you know, young people are dealing with a lot. And I think that that's one of the things I loved about Judy's book is that, and also what we wanted to show, if you're paying attention, these issues are big for them and they are also happening. Yeah. And what they must feel like, you know what I'm saying? And so prom is it.
Yeah.
And it feels like, you know, I'm not saying it's marriage, but it kind of feels that way.
Yeah. Even when you think about Keisha being like, every moment it was like, my mom's going to kill me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm watching it as a grown person, I'm like, damn, it really was like that. It's like, you'll be fine. But like, when you're a teenager, everything is so, like wearing fake Nikes is like enough to get you killed.
Right,
like, you know,
right.
And
losing like, her mom, think about this. Now, once the story goes along, that would be the worst thing for Keisha.
Yeah.
To lose her mother's respect. And I think
that's losing everything.
And that's losing everything. She knows what her mother did, and she thinks one mistake could lose her mother's respect. She sees how hard her mother's working, and I don't want to lose her respect. And you're just trying to hide it. And also, it is a commentary, too, that sometimes as parenting, we are communication skill. We snap and then we fall. That we've got to work on that.
And putting so much on our kids. That's not how my baby would be. And it's like, maybe I was in the back of the car doing the unthinkable.
Okay.
It's definitely your baby. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. The next you know, your kid's not telling you because you put them on this pedestal. So it's also awesome to see that because you know I think it's hard as a single parent where you're like I'm putting everything into you, and it's like, but what if I can't measure up to that? You know?
And also, if you look at it, there's out of love, there's a subtle message happening to Keisha, like a lot of young girls, about the baller.
Yeah.
Living that courtside life. And this is how you get that
This
guy.
is validation.
First, you know what I'm saying? And we still have a lot to work through about what are good choices for young women. I think one of my favorite things that, just in sort of the idea of how to choose well, I guess, is that Keisha realized, I just love that he was so honest, that I know how he feels about me. Unlike the other guy, I never knew. So that guy keeps you acting all, doing the most so that you can get his attention. And so I hope that those messages also came through. And that's not just for teenagers, that's for grown people.
They did. And I love that a young man that, again, I want to get to this last question, but I love that Justin said, because that's why I remember growing up for me, I was always really apprehensive in my young adult life. letting the guy pay dinner for me.
Yes.
You know, letting him take me somewhere.
I did that too,
because
Keke.
I didn't want it to mean I had to do something.
Right. I did the same thing, but I also missed out on
getting my dinner paid for. Can somebody pay for something this month? Like,
I spent $100,000 on my own self.
No, but we're not allowing for that to show up in our lives.
No, it's so true. But anyway, this is the last one. And
Ooh, Keke, we could talk.
Forever! Justin and Keisha in season 2.
Forever.
Yeah! Thank you both so much for coming to the show. I literally, I could talk to you for hours. It's such an honor to be with both of you. I mean, so much respect to all the work you've done. And I can't wait for season 2 forever. You know, I could be somebody's sister.
Okay.
Look at your girl.
Did you hear her?
There you
Come
go.
on.
Did you hear her?
All right.
Maybe I'm your sister.
There you go.
That's
awesome. You both from the shy too.
Look, Cassie, let me call him. Call me like that in. Get your
both from the shy.
The 2 seconds she's available.
I'm with you whenever you need me. Thank you guys again. If you haven't watched Forever yet, what are you doing? Go get your heart broken and healed. But seriously, I loved that today wasn't just a conversation about a show, but a conversation about life, being young, vulnerable, Black, and loving and being loved with the ability to be all those things at once. And if you're navigating that in-between space between who you were and who you're becoming, give yourself permission to be a little messy in that process. Whether it's romantic, familiar, or the one we have to build with ourselves. The gag is, the love is always worth exploring. In the meantime, I'm set for season 2 and can't wait for more real talk because, baby, this is Keke Palmer.
Baby.